Good morning, folks, and welcome back to the channel. Man, it's a little bit nippy out here. Low 50s, got several layers on, overcast conditions. We got some rain coming here before too long, but it's late fall, guys, and you know that means usually you gotta have a lot of weapons on the deck, a lot of junk fishing. You know, you catch a fish on this, you catch a fish on that, and it's important to move around. So what we're gonna do today is mix in toad, you know, some topwater stuff, swim jig, chatterbait. Going to definitely do a little punching, throw you know, a jig. Like I said, we're just gonna have to really mix it up, and hopefully we can figure out something that they prefer. You know, it's always nice to have a bait or two that you get more bites than the other baits, and then you can kind of focus on some areas. But we're gonna keep it wide open and just let the fish tell us what they want to bite. So we don't have a lot of time before it rains. Let's see if we can snatch up a few and learn something. All right. One on the swim jig and then one on the minnow. Just kind of looked over there in there. Big old ball of shad. A lot of the shad's still out in the middle of the lake. I'm working this grass, but as much as you want to make the shallow bite happen, you got to keep looking out deep. And that's where a lot of the fish are at. They've been out deep for a while. Spoon action, mixing it up. Nice little striped bass on the big swim bait. Just, man, like I said, we're mixing it up, trying a bunch of different stuff, and it's the first time I've caught a fish on this new Phoenix rod. It's a 7'7", extra heavy. Handled that fish very nicely. That's cool. Fish thumped it. There's several different ways to target bass in the fall. One would be to idle around, find the balls of shad, and get after them that way. And the second would be the way that I did today. And they both kind of go hand in hand. But I started the day off fishing a swim jig, covering water, and I got a few bites on the swim jig. But I got in this little area and I saw some shad flickering out off the bank. So I spun my trolling motor around, had the live scope, and I saw a bunch of shad out there. So I targeted the bass that relate to the shad with a little minnow, you know, and I got a few bites on that, and then it stopped. Then I picked up a spoon, caught a fish on that, and that was the only bite I got on that. I picked up a big swim bait, caught a really nice striper, and continued to kind of milk that area. So it's covering water with a moving bait, and then when I got into an area that seemed to have a concentration of fish and shad, I kind of changed tactics and milked the area for what it was. I ended up catching a few fish on a crankbait and a tube, but they were all in like 100-yard stretch of that area. For whatever reason, there were a bunch of shad and there were bass located in the area. So if you find that situation, you can slow down and kind of milk it, switch up and fish different baits until you wear them out, and then move on. But you got to cover water. Fall, the fish are notoriously spread out. They're in transition period, and I mean, in my opinion, let me know what you guys think, but it's all about moving, picking out something and moving. And then when you find the right area, you can slow down. And then when it goes away, you got to continue to move. And that's what I kind of did on this day. You know, you'll see me transition into some topwater baits here shortly, but I'm constantly covering water, looking for areas that are holding fish. Crazy. So we've been catching them on a lot of different things, and these schools will shut off on one thing and you pick up something else. Not the biggest fish, but just throwing it's a little Bill Lewis ATV square boat. It gets down to about 5 feet, and I'm really burning it. Good quality fish. It is pretty tough out here. You think they'd be biting really good, but there's a lot of shad, and they're just really locked on these shad. So having to work for them, but we are getting biter once in a while. Folks, let's show you what's going on here. See, they're on the front. Look, a bunch of shad. Those are stripers, or see how fast they're moving. You got these big balls of shad, and I'm just throwing jerkbait through them right now. Been, you know, hanging a minnow, spoon, swim jig, threw a drop shot. These fish are just so keyed in on these shads, they won't bite anything. So we're trying to make them react to a jerkbait right now. But there's just shad everywhere. Like I said, we're trying everything we can. There's so many shad in these areas, and I can't get them to really hit a big swim bait or a spoon or anything, but I've had 2 bites on this scope stick. This is the 100 size, the Pro Blue. And I'm just jerking through these balls of shad as fast as I can. So we're gonna run with this for a little bit and see if we can get some bites. Just seems like I can get a bite or 2 on one bait and then nothing. So just mixing it up, Buttercup. Nice strike. Look at how he ate that jerkbait, guys. Dang. Scope stick is officially gone. All right, midday report. Man, we played around with these stripers and bass for quite a while, and there's just so many shad that it's hard to get one to commit. They move around really fast. So we're gonna pick up a toad, cover a little bit of water, might try a chatterbait, get back out on the main lake, see if we can kind of target some little grassy areas, little secondary points, things like that. See if we can get a bite or 2 before it's time to shut her down. The water temperature is 62 to 64, so it's starting to cool down. It's been raining off and on a little bit, but just beautiful conditions. Just got to keep moving. You can get hung up in the same area for too long if you're sitting there looking at them. So we got to cover some water.
Mixing it up, man. We are really mixing it up. Decided to slide up here shallow. It started raining. Just throwing that Stanley top toad, Frog Factory. It's one of the best toads out there. Don't talk about it much, but it's definitely a good one. A lot of bait in this grass. Missed one earlier, and we've only been throwing this for, I probably made like 30 casts with this thing. I already had 2 bites on it, so man, you gotta keep moving around. We're gonna run this for a little while, see what happens. I love this weather though. I love these days where it's just kind of light rain, not a lot of wind, but we're gonna see if we can catch some on everything in the boat. All right, making some headway now. Alright folks, just gonna wrap it up. Look at that. Cumberland Pro Lures pig jig with a Yamacraw right in the grill. That's a good fish. I thought I had a bite just right before that. I mean, I know I did. Something hit it and it knocked slack on my line, and when I set, there was nothing there, but just a slick point, man. You know, we've caught fish on a lot of different things today, and I never really found one thing that was better than anything else. It was just, you know, just kind of junk fishing, you know. That's kind of what fall can be like. You just got to bounce around. That fish is bleeding bad. Whew, I got him in the tongue. Sorry about that. It's kind of brutal. But yeah, just that fish will be fine. Just bouncing around. I'm gonna make another cast or two before we leave. Thumbs up if you appreciate the content. Appreciate the content. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, and I'll have links to some of the baits I used today in the description box. You can go to Baitworks and use the code THM10 to get you 10% off. But that's the jig right there. It's that pig jig. So I got some watermelon, some blue in there, and just a sapphire blue. 3-inch Yamacraw. Man, that was fun. Just throwing it on the Vertus. This is the Ranger. A really good rod for jig fishing. Anyway, I got blood on my hands. Till next time.